The GTA 6 pricing situation is crazy. As you all know, Rockstar just fucking recently announced the pricing for GTA 6, just regular base edition, which is going to be the first $80 AAA game release. That's most likely going to be very successful. And I know that Outer Worlds 2 was technically the first game that was going to be $80 on release when it was announced back then. But then Obsidian, they fucking realized nobody was gonna buy that shit and they brought it back down to the normal price of games, which is $70. Which just saying that is fucking diabolical because we should not be normalizing this price increase. Like we shouldn't have been normalizing back then. Because AAA games prices are horrendous. As you can just see, with any new game, it's 70 bucks. And this needs to be talked about because these gaming companies have been acting like this for quite some time. And no one's questioning this shit, which brings us to the point, where did it all go wrong? As I just mentioned, it started way back then, in the 2020s, early pandemic era, to 2021, I would say, where the first price increases happened with games like NBA 2K 2021, the Demon's Souls remake, and Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. These were the first games that were starting to push the prices of games to go up, right? It was starting the new norm. And this is complete bullshit because, especially with the games like 2K and COD, they're not only giving you this fucking big increase in price, they're also going to be slapping you across the fucking face with their shitty microtransactions that they keep pushing into their fucking games. And the whole situation back then is obviously caused a fucking uproar. No one wants to pay more money for these games that will have all this microtransaction nonsense and asking for battle passes or whatever, right? We didn't like it back then, but the gaming companies basically just kept pushing these prices, and at the end of the day, whether we liked it or not, it became the new norm, and we could just kind of just sit there and take it. And now Rockstar is going to set a new price norm with GTA 6. Granted, GTA 6 does have the level of hype, anticipation, and intrigue that players are definitely seeing as worth the price tag, but this pricing is still a problem because other studios like Ubisoft and EA are going to look at GTA 6 and Rockstar as justification for them increasing their own prices and saying, well, you're okay with GTA 6 costing this much, but now you're going to be complaining that we're doing it? And that's kind of the problem there. These companies are going to use whatever fucking reason to push these prices onto us. And you can just search up on YouTube right now, the pricing situation everybody's talking about and how we shouldn't be normalizing this shit, right? And obviously defenders are going to say, well, the pricing of games and their creation has gone up. And true, that is one of the factors that has resulted in these gamings costing more to create. But I would argue that a lot of these companies are also making record-breaking profits. Like Microsoft, they are still making millions upon millions in earnings along with EA. And obviously that's just the earnings. That's not accounting operation costs and other factors that may impact that actual profit and be less, right? But a lot of these companies will just lay off their workforce in order to make up for that cost. A lot of these game studios have been firing and laying off all these developers just so their CEO can afford their 70 fucking yacht. It's fucking stupid. And eventually these practices will reach a boiling point. Let's fucking be honest. They're gonna keep pushing and pushing until something's gonna fucking give, right? And obviously I'm not telling you to not buy GTA 6 because at the end of the day that's your money, so it's your choice if you want to buy it or not. But then again, you are voting with your wallet, right? That's kind of where the dilemma comes in. I can't tell people not to do something because it's their money, but at the same time, if they keep doing it, I mean, yeah, no shit that these companies are gonna keep pushing, right? It's just one of those issues where there's no straightforward answer for it. I'm just saying to be informed about this shit and to speak about it, right? Because these companies they don't give a fuck about us. They want money. They want to keep pushing their bullshit, and they'll gladly keep doing it for as long as we tolerate it. Just saying not to normalize this shit because the industry is fucking diabolical. And in addition to not just the pricing increase, there's something recently with the Sony fucking shit, right? Companies pushing digital only, which is fucking horrendous. This should not be happening because these fucking companies pushing digital only want you to not own your games. They don't want you to own shit because they want to take it away whenever they want to. As you know, when you buy a game digitally, it's being licensed out to you. So say a company just for whatever reason wants to remake an old version of a game and they still have that same old version on their storefront, right? They'll just take away everyone's old version and release the new version, so now you can only buy that new version. Like with GTA San Andreas edition, right? Rockstar took away the ability to buy the old versions of GTA San Andreas and those other games because they wanted to push their shitty, remake, which is ass. Like we all know it was booty. And these companies want that to be normal because They don't watch their own shit, so they can just take it away whenever they want. And they'll keep increasing those prices, as I just said, for those newer games. And the Sony news now, with them not going forward with physical media going after 2028, I think January, is even bigger cause for concern because it shows Sony intent on not caring about you owning your games. Like, sure, it doesn't sound like that big a deal, right? It's like, oh, it's just physical media, man. Just buy it online. But they can just take that shit away, and you can't do jack about it. We are all gonna get fucked by this. That's why movements like the Stop Killing Games movement are important, because these companies need to be fucking held accountable for this shit and not be able to take what we spent our money on for their games, right? But that's just my take on it. This is just, I guess, more of a layman's term video, just based on my own knowledge. That's all I gotta say. Tell me your fucking thoughts on this whole pricing issue and the whole physical media topic, right? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And on that note, the last thing I have to say is, what the fuck is a collab?